You are not the reason your business is not making enough money. Your systems are. You're thinking, okay, I just need more followers, more content, more offers, more time, more effort, more confidence, right? But none of that impacts your income as much as having solid business systems. So today, I'm going to explain what systems you need to take you from a broke and struggling entrepreneur to a money-making marketician. Welcome to Hexotica, the inner sanctum of witchy creatives building self-reliant AF online businesses and alternative lifestyle freedom. I'm your host, marketing mentor, Christine Rice, and this is episode 34. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so glad that you are here. Today's podcast is going to be extra juicy. We are getting into something that might seem a little bit boring from the start, but it's actually quite interesting when you see how you can gamify your business to make it fun. So I'm trying to share that with you, especially if you're neurospicy and you find that some of these things are a little bit boring. I want to try to change your mind and help you to think about these in a more fun, gamified kind of way. And the most important thing I want you to take away from today's podcast is that when you're not making money, when you're struggling, it is so important that you do not internalize that, make it about yourself or your character, okay? It is not you. You are not the problem in your business. So often when we have our online businesses, it's just a matter of these missing business systems. Business systems are so important, and I'm going to share why in as least boring possible way as I can with lots of examples. Okay. So if you are a new listener here, welcome to Hexotica. You are in the right place to learn how to build your online business or become a content creator so that you can have more time, location, and financial freedom in your life so that you can be self-reliant as fuck. That's our motto here. That's what I am here to help you do, especially if you are unconventional or you feel like you cannot find your place in the world. So today's episode is all about the business systems that you need to build, and I'm going to try to make it fun. So let's get into it. Without business systems, everyday little teeny tasks are going to feel heavier, right? And that's going to fray and fry your nervous system. And if you have a frayed and fried nervous system, you're not going to be able to manifest money, right? We know this now with manifesting. You've got to have a calm nervous system in order to bring money into your life. You cannot have your money-making magic work when you are exhausted and burnt out and unable to visualize and work on your business each and every day, especially on those hard days, right? You didn't start your business to spend your mornings duct taping together all these different funnel tech things, rewriting the same emails for the 15th time, and manually answering, "How do I work with you?" over and over in the DMs, right? And yet, here you are, a dozen tabs open, notes everywhere, trying to come up with last-minute social media posts at the end of the day. And with inconsistent sales that make you question, what are you even doing, right? You are feeling like a massive imposter. And for the longest time, I thought that the answer to making money online in my business was just to work harder, right? This is the typical answer. Oh, I just need to work harder, more time, right? More content, more followers, more offers, and more hopeful, this is going to fix everything. Courses and free ebooks and another blog post and another YouTube video, right? And more notes, like so many freaking notes. But the real shift for me happened when I chose finally to do less. The moment my business stopped feeling like an overwhelming energy drain and started feeling like a magical money magnet was when I built my first signature business system. Not a rigid, exhausting, or overly complex system. We're not talking like a million funnels here, right? Just a simple, repeatable pathway that generated cash for me. It vetted clients for me. It onboarded them. and it delivered results without me having to rewrite and reinvent my entire sales process every month. That's when everything changed for me, right? The income, the consistency, the space in my brain, and my capacity to actually enjoy being a creative again. And that's why the processes to make cash first are the very first thing that I look at when you work with me. Like if I do an audit for you, I'm going to look at how are you generating cash and how can we make that process super short and fast? Because the truth that creative and unconventional, especially neurospicy entrepreneurs may not ever guess about business is that business systems, they're not boring, right? And they're not restrictive at all, okay? I used to think they were super restrictive. And when you hear the name business systems, you might think it just sounds like too much structure, right? But business systems are containers that allow your creative magic to work on demand, mostly on its own, okay? They do not limit your freedom. They create more for you, okay? You see why I'm excited about this and why it's so important to wrap your head around this? Business systems are going to help you reduce your daily cognitive load, right? You know, the cognitive load that housewives have when they have to do everything for their lazy husbands and leads to divorce eventually. They save you time, they save you money, and they most critically save you energy, right? So if you've been struggling in your business, despite working your freaking ass off at it, your business systems might just be what are missing and what you need to examine. Okay. And then I'm going to share with you my personal experiences in designing each of these systems within 3 different business models. So let's walk through the essential business systems that you need to design first to build a profitable online business. And then I'm going to share my personal experiences in designing each system within the 3 different business models that I've had over 18 years. Okay. Now, very generally speaking, almost every business model runs on just a handful of the same types of systems, okay? Each are essential to help keep the money flowing and your customers coming back for more. So let's quickly go through each of them. The first one is lead generation and capture systems, right? So FYI, just for any new signets out there, leads equals emails, okay? And the first thing that you need to build is this first system to generate your leads and your capture email addresses, right? So this is how new people can discover you and enter your world. So this could be social media, SEO, referrals, ads, partnerships, etc., like all that stuff, right? And most people get that part right. They know they've got to set up some social media, they've got to set up a website, right? But what's incredible to me is how people don't complete the system with the most essential element that's part of it, right? You need to design a way to collect and store those leads and email addresses once they show up. Something to collect and manage your email lists, forums, and your landing pages, right? So you must have an ESP, which stands for Email Service Provider, something like Kit, MailChimp, or ActiveCampaign, for example, right? And you need to have these hooked up to any points that people are finding you online. You need to be able to capture those people who are visiting. It's incredible to me how many websites of people who've been in business for years do not have a basic email newsletter capture form right up at the top of their website. It's the most basic thing. It needs to be juicy. It needs to be there. You need to find a way to capture people. So depending on your business model, you may also have something like a CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Management Software. You need anything where you can build a form to collect an email address. And then that email then goes into a database, right? So a CRM example is like Dubsado, which I used for 9 years as a social media manager, as freelancing. And I absolutely loved it. I needed that in addition to having ActiveCampaign, because ActiveCampaign was for all my emails, tagging, sequences, all that. But my customer relationship management software was where I used those emails to then talk to all my clients, send them forms, send them contracts, all that kind of thing. So there's a difference there with ESP and CRM, right? Now, Go High Level, which I currently use as a marketing mentor, is also both an ESP and a CRM, which is why I love it, because it's all in one. So if you have these systems set up, then people can remember that you exist and you can stay in front of them daily, weekly, however often you're sending out emails, right? You need an email list and you need a list capture system in addition to how you are capturing people online. So that's the first system. So I go on a lot about email because it is so important. Cannot underestimate how important email is. The second system is your sales systems. And it's how you get the money, honey. Next, you're going to need to design a process to convert interested humans who sign up for your things into paying clients. And this can be your sales pages, your discovery calls, your checkout pages, and your proposals. So it can also be having PayPal links or Thrivecart links or having funnels, however it is that you're getting the money, right? A system around that. Number 3, delivery or fulfillment system. It's delivering the booty. This system is all about how the client or customer actually receives what they bought, right? So it's your onboarding, it's your contract back and forth, it's your big project workflows, it's your course delivery, it's your communication and all of the systems around that, and it's your delivery times. If you're in e-commerce, it could also be how you package things, right? The whole process around how an order goes, gets processed, and gets shipped. Number 4 is your operations and your workflow system. So this is how the work gets organized behind the scenes, right? Either all by yourself or you're hiring help to help you get shit done fast. Yeah. So it's all about task management, automations, your file storage, and your project tracking. Okay. Now, the goal of this system, if you design it well, is to have a business that can run without you. So you want to be able to take holidays, right? So if you work on your operations and workflow systems and have walk-away workflows, which is what the W stands for in SWAN, then you can have a business you can walk away from. And that's the hope, right? Now, the 5th system is the money management system, which is muy importante. This system is all about how money flows in and gets tracked. So it's your invoices, your payments, your bookkeeping, your expenses, and your taxes. Now, while Dubsado and Go High Level do invoicing and they do selling, you'll still need a money tracking system to do your monthly overall bookkeeping, right? Like Wave or Zoho or MYOB, one of those things, right? It's important to know your numbers, not just with your inflows, but also with your outflows, your expenses. And it's important to track your profitability, not just your gross revenue. So it's critical to know your numbers at the end of each month, and you can't do that unless you are tracking what's working, right? Now, if all of these business systems feel overwhelming to you, here's some good news. Everything you are already doing can become your system. And you might think some of these are, you're already doing them or they seem a little bit like obvious, but what I'm trying to illustrate here is the nuances of making these processes streamlined and taking them out of the cognitive load, removing decisions from your day. That's what we're trying to do here, is to make these processes super streamlined, easy for you. So you can feel more free, right? And so that a bottle of Shiraz doesn't look like a freaking life raft at the end of your day, right? Systems shouldn't feel heavy, they shouldn't feel complicated, and they shouldn't feel like a ton of hard work to set up, right? Just start documenting your most important processes now. Not all of them, but just the 6 essential ones above. And from those, just the parts that are critical to bringing in new customers and revenue. It can be as easy as making checklists for yourself, right? Just simple things that you do over and over again. You want to have a process there so that when your brain is fried, you can open up a note and you can see, okay, here's what we do and here's how I did it. Checklists can help your brain out when you come back to your blog after missing a few weeks, for example, right? You don't have to think about all the processes that go into a blog. Or you can make a video tutorial of yourself that you can also send to a VA when you are ready to hire. Systems make things faster, easier, and less stressful. They take the pain away, right? They take the pain away. Take the pain away. And that's why I love systems and why they are a big part of what I can teach you in the SWAN Transformation Marketing Strategy mentoring programs, especially if you are neurodivergent. You need systems. It helps your brain out, helps your brain keep on track, right? A lot of ADHD people will ask, like, how do you run a business? How do you get the self-discipline? How do you make it work? Like, how do I get motivated? How do I stop procrastinating? It's systems. Systems are the answer. That's what you need, especially if you're neurodivergent. So, sorry, getting a bit excited because they've helped me so much. All right. So, systems are what I teach in the S part of my SWAN Transformation Marketing Strategy mentoring programs. They stand for Signature Business Systems, and they are fun. So here are some of the most useful tools that you can use for your systems. Because besides the specific software types that you'll need to get specific tasks done, you'll also need a system for your business systems. The grand kahuna of keeping your business systems organized, right? Everyday productivity software is the best option to pull together all of your tasks and keep your systems organized. So here are some of my favorites that I use every single day, every hour. The first one, and the one that I love the most, is Google Sheets. Alternatively, you could use Excel spreadsheets. My ADHD brain just loves spreadsheets. I'm just like crazy about them, a little bit too much, I think. I had to make like rules for myself to not make spreadsheets. But they are where I park 90% of all my business systems, right? I use these for everything. My daily habit record, time block schedule, my goals, content calendars, reports, content libraries, task lists, checklists, everything. Now, here's a hot tip for you if you are in the information devouring stage of learning about business, right? Get into the habit of digitalizing your note-taking process as soon as possible into places that you can use a search bar. I made the mistake of writing notes with pen and paper for years, but if I had kept them on my computer, I could easily scan files to find what I need when I become ready to implement what I'd learned, right? I used to write everything down on pen and paper. That's what all these notebooks behind me, if you're watching the YouTube video, I've got all these notebooks. They're filled with paper and pen notes from years of studying marketing before I started to use the computer to take all of my notes, which was about 2016. And thank God I did that, because that way I can use a search bar and I can easily pull up, okay, so let's find out how to do a landing page, and all the notes that I've taken on landing pages, all the good advice, all the things that the gurus said, templates, anything that I had saved, I can easily pull it up when I was ready to do that part of the business. Because there's many, many different parts of business that you need to build, right? And it may actually be years before you get to building that part. So even though you want to keep these notes up to date, it is so helpful to have a database of people's information that you can pull up. It's so much more helpful than just Googling something, because there are certain people that you're going to find over the years you trust and listen to a bit more, who can, to be honest, just talk about it in a way that your brain kind of responds to. Because I find like there were a lot of neurotypical productivity and marketers out there who I would get something the first time, but when it came to actually implementing, their advice was useless. So learn to find the people who really speak to how to get something done that your brain responds to. And the other thing I used to do, and I still do, is whenever I sign up to someone's newsletter, I save every single one of their emails if they're useful, because email search bar usage is super, super easy to find information. So I restrict my email subscribers to just 2 or 3 really good teachers that I trust really well. And I save every single one of their emails. Super, super valuable as the years go on. Now, the next thing that I use all the time is Google Keep. That is a great place to keep Google Notes as well. You could also use Apple Notes. Now, these are essential because you need to be able to move and copy quickly and easily between your laptop or your desktop PC and your phone, right? Especially for content creation. I use them for everything from hashtags, URLs, brand color palettes, copywriting formulas, and all of the kind of lists. So anything that I need to pull up again and again to get work done, and especially if I'm copy pasting, I use Google Notes. I can quickly write something on my desktop, like for a Facebook post or something, copy it, get it grammatically checked, and then copy that to my phone in Google Keep, where I can then upload it to schedule it. So it's super, super useful. Now, probably the note that I probably use the most of all is my emoji collection. It's much faster to copy and paste emojis off Google Keep on my desktop than it is searching for emoji in any of the text-based editors or in Emojipedia, the site. If you don't know Emojipedia, I'll leave the link in the show notes. It's so good. It's got all the emojis there. And I've got on this Google Keep note my signature emoji set. Everyone needs their emoji set, right? Their signature emoji set. So my favorite for social media engagement that attracts my tribe is skulls and hearts, purple and black hearts and skulls. And I make a whole line of it because it really stands out in the comments then when I'm posting and engaging on social media. And I want my comments to stand out. Like, you always want to stand out. You always want to try to get attention with whatever you're doing. So having a signature emoji set that kind of speaks to your tribe is a great way to do that. And for my swan programs, my signature emoji set is a wand with the swan. So I have these emoji sets in Google Keep, and that's where I keep them and pull them up all the time over and over again. It's just so much easier than trying to search for them in the bloody emoji, at text editor. Another tool that I use is Asana, or you could use Trello, ClickUp, or Notion. Now, Asana it's a project management software, which used to be free, but it's no longer free. It's subscription, but I still really love it. And it's great for big projects, especially if you have VAs, virtual assistants, or freelance contractors that are going to work with you to get a project done, right? And when I take a course on how to build something, I love it when they include an Asana project template or Trello template so that I can just upload it to Asana. And then all the steps that they are teaching in the course are right there in my Asana. And so I can easily assign VAs to do certain parts of it. I can have a project timeline to see what's done, what needs to get done, have a little checklist. You check something off and a little unicorn flies across the screen. I mean, it's fantastic. You get a huge dopamine hit when you see that unicorn. Another tool that I love is the Pomodoro Focus or TopTel tomato timers. These are essential for a brain like mine. So here's another hot tip for you when it comes to your business systems. The best systems are designed alongside a timeline, right? They include restraint factors, deadlines. And this way you can eventually outsource the task in that system, and your VA will know exactly how long he or she should be taking to get that task done. This is so important, Signets. I once outsourced a client's Instagram story creation using my Storito account to a VA, and I failed to include the time restraints in the Asana project. Now, I knew how often it used to take me to batch the stories. I had a batching system, so I knew that I could generally get about 10 to 15 story graphics done within an hour, right? The VA took 5 hours to get 10 to 15 story graphics done. I think it was 15 she finally got, but 5 hours. Sure, she did deliver 15 beautiful stories to me, all right, but it cost me 4 more hours than it should have because I did not specify the time restraint. So she took her time to decide to design these beautiful stories, right? And she focused on the deliverability of 10 to 15 and not on the time that I could afford to allot to that client. So that blows the budget out. Basically, I start losing money on that client's account if it's going to take more time than it is supposed to, right? That's why you want to be using a timer for every task you document before you systemize it for outsourcing. Using a timer is also critical if you struggle with getting tasks done quickly. So I have ADHD and I do not work well without constant timers on every single task in my day. It helps me to understand how fast I work. It helps me to get faster because I'm constantly trying to beat my time. And when I know how long a task is going to take, I can then time block my day and estimate how much time I'm going to have to do any task that I might do as a service or that I might outsource, right? Now, I might give more time for outsource, obviously, because you don't want to put your own time restraints on a VA when they're new, especially, or if they are just learning how to use your system. But it's a good kind of ballpark picture to work with, right? Now, I've had 18 years of experience working for myself at home, right? So I have used these timers, and it's basically made me an expert at managing my time. Check out episode number 6 of the Hexotica podcast to hear the details about how I manage time as an ADHD solopreneur. I get into the details of time management in that episode. All right, so now for a bit of story time. So I'm going to share with you what I have learned about business systems by recounting how it impacted me personally over 3 different business models that I've had in those past 18 years. So you can kind of really see why you need all of these systems in place. So I've experienced the ups and downs of cash flow in these 3 different business models. And here is a quick summary of what I have learned from each. So in my handmade Gothic burlesque accessories business, my income was seasonally dependent. So the money flowed really well leading up to Halloween, all through November for our Melbourne Cup. That's a horse race for my listeners who are not familiar with that. And all through December for Christmas. And then maybe the first week or 2 of January when people are sitting at home because everyone has the whole month of January off practically here in Australia. So there's a lot of people online shopping and it's summertime here. So people were, buying flowers for their hair, hats, accessories, that kind of thing. But those other months, especially the end of January or early February, were so hard sometimes that I would not even break even with my business. So that means I could barely even cover the expenses of what it cost to run the business. So that was all before I became obsessed with marketing like I am now. So I couldn't see the inefficiencies that I could have eliminated, delegated, or automated as easily as I do now. I can clearly see the problems when I look at an e-commerce type business like what I had with the Etsy and eBay shop. Like many creatives, I just wanted to make shit, right? I didn't want to study marketing all day. I just wanted to make jewelry and nipple pasties and fascinators and that kind of thing. And I was just, a mile a minute with ideas and creativity. But if I had hired a professional marketing consultant back then, I could have learned how to generate cash consistently year long. Instead, I surfed a seasonal cash tide for 8 consecutive months, using the downtime as an excuse to go traveling overseas. Usually that's when I would go and visit my family. The business system that I excelled at with this first e-commerce business was my delivery and fulfillment systems. It's how I processed and shipped orders fast. So I had lots of happy customers and I had very few negative complaints or returns because of that system. And the business system that I failed to design in that first business was lead attraction, and capture. A system to consistently sell on the back end through email. So that's another hot tip for you if you are an Etsy witch or if you're selling physical products on sites like eBay or Shopify. If you're relying on only the in-store front end of your business for your sales, your business is dangerously under-optimized, Signets. Get that lead generation and email collection system revving along like a crazy email machine. Be capturing emails all the time. Be using your email newsletter. Create some evergreen sales sequences that will sell for you while you sleep, no matter the season. This is what I teach in my Swan Academy first level mentoring program. It's for beginners or people who are learning the basic foundations and essential business systems. You can also learn more about how to do email in episode number 16 of this podcast, entitled Email Marketing versus Newsletter. Simple explanation for creatives who don't do boring business jargon. Now, when I was a freelance social media manager, my income was extremely consistent, very reliable. So it's a bit feast and famine the first 2 years, but then by around 3, I started to get the hang of how to find the higher paying clients, and I started to get lots of referrals. And that kept me going for 9 years. So over 9 years, I felt quite secure, and there was a lot of travel, a lot of Luxas. It was a good period. And that was because social media managers, we would earn money on a month-to-month retainer basis, which means we get paid the exact same amount per client for whatever package of deliverabilities they get from you, right? And on top of that, any extra services that they would need on an ad hoc basis. It's one of the better freelance careers because of that. Project-based freelancers have to learn how to keep their new client pipelines consistently filled. So that's why it can be quite hard to be a project-based freelancer. And they go through a lot of feast and famines and ups and downs, and they have to really learn how to hustle to keep the client pipeline full. Now, the business systems that freelancing helped me nail down were my sales systems. I learned how to sell in the DMs, do discovery calls, how to close sales on a call, and how to do paid proposals. I used Dubsado to automate the entire process from client inquiry on my website to post-proposal invoicing. The last thing that you want to be doing in your business is manually typing out the same damn emails over and over. So it's good to have a system where you onboard your clients and you take them from when they find your website to when you're delivering the product or service. I teach all of the systems you need to become a freelance service provider in my Swan agency program. That program is especially suited for aspiring social media managers and digital nomads. Now that I'm a marketing strategist and mentor, my income is campaign dependent. So this current business model as an educator and mentor, I'm using systems that I learned a lot about from the 6- and 7-figure earning clients that I supported when I was a freelancer. A coaching or mentoring educational business like this requires monthly to fortnightly targeted promotional campaigns to keep it going. So this can be like live webinars, free challenges, or segmented email blasts, for example. Outside of constant promotions, in this model of business, you want to have multiple revenue streams, right? Things like ongoing subscription memberships, affiliate revenue, and lots of low-ticket digital products. Understanding buyer psychology and having automated sales funnels is critical for this kind of model of business. Once you get a product or service selling well, it's what we call validated, right? You've sold it many times, your customers love it, and you've enjoyed delivering it too. So the next step is designing a sales funnel for it and hooking that up to a paid ad campaign or large traffic source. So this is what I teach in my Swan Executive Mentoring Program. So are you ready to design and build a signature business system yourself? If you'd like to learn how to get started, I can show you exactly what you'll need to do for each system. I'll help you design, map out, and build each system with all the essential parts and the tools to help you make your business profitable. You can check out my Swan Transformation Mentoring programs at hexotica.online. So that's HEXOTICA.online. Or if you'd like just a one-off sample, smaller size program to see what it's like to work with me and what I can do for you, you can check out my Swan Audit and Treasure Map. Inside the Swan Audit and Treasure Map, I map out exactly which systems you already have that I can see online, which you don't have, where you might be leaking time or sales, and which ones you actually need for the current stage in your business that you're at. It's only a $300 Australian dollar service that includes a 60-minute one-on-one slideshow and a video call. So we can share a glass of wine, have a cup of coffee, however you like it. And together, we'll go over everything that I found online about your business. You can ask me lots of questions, have a closer look at any parts online. We can screenshot, look back and forth on each other's screens. We can have a lot of fun doing this while you learn. And once you have this custom treasure map, you'll see very clearly what's working, what's missing, and importantly, what to prioritize so that you won't have that dreaded overwhelm sense of like, what do I do next? I don't have enough time to do all this. I'll show you step by step what you need to do next. And that way you'll have the confidence that you need to ditch certain time and money sucks that you're currently not even seeing. And that way you can double down on the things that you know are giving you the best return on the best investment for your time and money. So get it now while this one-on-one video consult is still included. So that's the special offer now. I'm still doing the one-on-one consult for now, but I will not be offering that consult part for much longer due to my time being limited and quickly becoming more and more limited as I take on more clients. So I'm getting very busy. And with every episode of this podcast that I publish, I am getting busier. So get it now. I've left the link to my new Go High Level funnel for the treasure map in the show notes. I'd love to help you grow your online business with confidence and clarity like a money-making marketician. All right. So now that we've talked about business systems, and do you know how I could help you with those business systems if you need my help? A little personal update here at the end before I say goodbye. Big news. I'm so excited that I have a ticket booked to go home to Atlanta for Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. I'm going home for a good 3 to 4 month long visit this time. And yes, I know it is a terrible time to go to the US, but I'm from Atlanta. My family is there. I am an American citizen, so hopefully everything will work out okay at the airport. If the TSA agents are being paid by then, hopefully. But yeah, that's big news for me. And I'm able to do this because I work online. And when I get to the US, I'll be able to even continue working while I'm there. Set up shop in my mom's house and my sister's house and work on a laptop. That's the freedom that I can enjoy. I don't have to ask a boss for time off. I don't have to worry about time not being paid off from work. I can get paid while I'm there. In fact, I could make more money over the holidays if I want because I'll have more time. In some ways, because I won't be going out as much visiting friends. So yeah, very excited about that. But some big changes coming that I'll also update with you at some point. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you have got some good value out of this. And if you enjoyed it, remember to leave a Hexia on the YouTube channel or on any of the social media channels so that I can know who you are and find and follow you and support your business. That is what I'm here for. I want to see you thrive, whether you buy from me or not. I'm here to help you grow your business so that more unconventional, weird people in the world can create their place and not have to look to squeeze themselves and find a place that they don't fit or have their soul sucked out of them from a job or a boss or a restrictive lifestyle. You can create the alternative lifestyle of your dreams, and I'm here to help you. So thank you for listening. Have a great week, and bye.